From Space Launch Complex 3 at Vandenberg Air Force Base, California, United Launch Alliance presents live Atlas V launch coverage. On board, the NROL-36 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office.
Range, go for launch. Roger, go for launch.
T-minus
3, 2, 1.
Atlas engine ignition.
Liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV Heavy rocket.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 9 minutes, 27 seconds and counting. Launch countdown operations are continuing and the team is not working any issues. Our launch time today is 2:39 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Good afternoon and welcome to Mission Control at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. I'm Don Spencer and I'll be your commentator for today's mission. And later in the mission, you'll hear the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data during the flight. And at the request of our customer, this afternoon's live coverage will conclude following confirmation of payload fairing jettison, which occurs approximately 4.5 minutes after liftoff. At T-minus 4 minutes, we will begin a planned 10-minute hold, and this hold allows launch conductor Mark Levesque and his team some time to address last-minute tasks. However, at this point, we remain on schedule for liftoff at 2:39 p.m. Pacific Time. NROL-36 is the last of 4 ULA missions for the National Reconnaissance Office this year. The first was launched from Vandenberg in April, followed by 2 from Cape Canaveral in June. The NRO is a joint organization engaged in the research and development, acquisition, launch, and operation of overhead reconnaissance systems necessary to meet the needs of the intelligence community and the Department of Defense. The mission of the NRO is innovative overhead intelligence systems for national security. NRO's vision is vigilance from above. Last year, the NRO commemorated 50 years of service to the nation. In addition to its significant historical accomplishments, the NRO is recognized for its transformational intelligence collection systems that are used to develop highly accurate military targeting data, support international peacekeeping and humanitarian relief operations, and assess the impact of natural disasters. NRO systems continue to ensure vigilance from above. And moments ago, the launch team received a final weather briefing and was told the weather is within the launch commit criteria for today's launch. Current weather conditions are as follows. The probability of violating launch constraints is 0%. Ground winds are in the 15 to 20 knot range. Winds are out of the northeast. Conditions at Complex 3 are misty and foggy. Upper level winds are within constraint at this time, and temperature is 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit expected at T0. So the weather is favorable for liftoff, and there are no constraints at this time for liftoff as planned at 2:39 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. NROL-36 is the 33rd Atlas V Evolved Expendable Launch Vehicle mission since the inaugural flight in 2002. Today's mission is flying in the 401 configuration, which includes the Common Core booster powered by the NPO Nergamash RD-180 main engine and a single-engine Centaur upper stage powered by the Pratt & Whitney Rocketdyne RL-10A engine. The NRO-L36 payload is encapsulated in a 4-meter diameter payload fairing. On July 17th, the encapsulated payload was transported to Space Launch Complex 3 and mated to the Atlas V launch vehicle. The launch countdown began approximately 4 hours ago when the Mobile Service Tower, or MST, was rolled back to its launch position approximately 250 feet southeast of the Atlas V launch vehicle. For those watching the broadcast, you're looking at video taken earlier today as the final preparations were made for this afternoon's liftoff. The Atlas V rocket stands 188 feet tall, or about 19 stories, weighs approximately 750,000 pounds fully fueled, and delivers more than 860,000 pounds of thrust off the launch pad. This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes, 53 seconds, and counting. Today's launch is dedicated in memory of Dr. Pedro Pete Rustan. And just a few minutes ago, the launch team remembered Dr. Rustan with the following tribute delivered by Mission Director Colonel James Fisher.
The L-36 launch is dedicated to Dr. Pedro Pete Rustan. Throughout his career of dedicated government service, Dr. Rustan pioneered advances in national reconnaissance, both on the ground and in space, by successfully designing, prototyping, and rapidly fielding advanced intelligence collection and processing systems. This launch honors his legacy of innovation, leadership, and patriotism.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. And just a few moments ago, the launch team entered the final planned hold. Again, this hold is designed to give launch conductor Mark Levesque and his team any time to address final tasks that may be required during that final period just prior to launch. However, at this point, the team is not working any issues and liftoff remains on schedule at 2:39 p.m. Pacific Time. The animation you'll see after liftoff is referred to as STK, or Satellite Toolkit. STK uses real-time telemetry data from the launch vehicle to track the flight of the vehicle beyond the range of ground-based cameras. STK is a three-dimensional representation of the launch vehicle's trip into space. While the team completes its final preparations, let's take a closer look at today's flight with a video that incorporates the animation I just described.
The following profile details the important events of this launch using approximate times. The United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket will launch and deploy the NROL-36 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the RD-180 engine roars to life and liftoff.
The Atlas RD-180 main engine ignites to lift the vehicle away from the pad. Shortly after liftoff, Atlas begins its initial pitch-yaw-and-roll maneuvers to attain the proper ascent profile. At 81 seconds, the Atlas V reaches Mach 1, the speed of sound. At 89 seconds, the vehicle experiences maximum dynamic pressure. Approaching booster engine cutoff, the Atlas V is burning propellant at the rate of more than 1,600 pounds per second, traveling at a speed of more than 10,000 miles per hour, and located more than 74 statute miles in altitude and 159 statute miles downrange. Booster engine cutoff occurs just over 4 minutes into the flight. 6 seconds after booster engine cutoff, the booster stage is jettisoned. Ignition of the second stage, or Centaur main engine, takes place 10 seconds after booster stage jettison. 8 seconds after Centaur main engine start, the payload fairing is jettisoned.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. In addition to the NROL-36 mission, today's launch is also delivering 11 small auxiliary payloads, or Cubesats, to space. Initiated by the California Polytechnic State University and Stanford University's Space Development Lab, the Cubesat program creates launch opportunities for public and private institutions around the globe by implementing a standard satellite which can be designed and built at relatively low cost. Cubesats enable hands-on experience, increase the readiness level of emerging technologies, and offer operational proof of concept. To launch the Cubesats, the National Reconnaissance Office and United Launch Alliance partnered to develop the Aft Bulkhead Carrier, or ABC, system which will make use of excess volume inside the Atlas V launch vehicle. An operational unique technology satellite, or OutSat, will be mounted to the ABC system, which is attached to the Atlas V's Centaur upper stage. The OutSat consists of 11 Cubesats in various configurations. The Cubesats were developed under the sponsorship of the NRO and NASA by the Space and Missile Defense Command, the Aerospace Corporation, University of Southern California, University of Colorado, Cal Poly, Morehead State University, UC Berkeley, and the Lawrence Livermore National Lab. These CubeSat missions will study space weather and communication, space environment, debris mitigation, maritime shipping container tracking, and spaceflight safety and orbit refinement. This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. The launch conductor will be polling the team in a few moments for the final go to resume the countdown. 28 launch managers and engineers are polled for the readiness status to proceed with the launch. This is the final status check before launch for all launch vehicle systems, including the vehicle's electrical systems, hydraulics, pneumatics, propulsion systems, flight control, and propellants. The team will verify that the ground systems, including the computer-controlled launch system, telemetry, and propellant transfer systems, are ready for launch. And the team will also verify that the U.S. Air Force Western Range operations and the space vehicle are ready for flight. Some of the final processing steps prior to launch include completing propellant topping of the Atlas and Centaur stages and securing the vent valves of both stages. The team will switch vehicle from ground facility power to internal battery power and verify the pad water deluge system is ready for liftoff, and they'll conduct final checks of the vehicle's propulsion systems and propellants to verify their readiness for launch. Let's listen in as Mark Levesque performs the final polling of the launch team.
Status check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas Systems propulsion. Go. Hydraulics. Go. Pneumatics. Go. LO2. Go. Water. Go. Centaur Systems propulsion. Go. Pneumatics. Go. LO2. Go. LH2. Go. Gas. Go. Electrical systems airborne. Go. Ground. Go. Facility. Go. RFFTS. Go. Flight control. Go. Instrumentation. Go. COM. Go. Timer. Go. GC cube. Go. Bellicles. Go. ECS. Go. Redline monitor. Go. Quality. Go. OSM. Go. ULA safety officer. Go. Range weather and clear to proceed. Go. Launch director. Launch vehicle is ready to launch. Mission director. Mission deployed. Proceeding with the count. T0 is planned for 21:39 Zulu. Set count to start.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes and holding. Polling is complete and the team has given the go for launch of the NROL-36 mission at 2:39 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We'll be picking up the countdown at T-minus 4 minutes and 1 minute 51 seconds. From T-minus 4 minutes until liftoff, you'll be listening to the launch conductor and his team performing the final steps in the countdown procedure. At T-minus 3 minutes, the team will secure Atlas liquid oxygen topping. At T-minus 2 minutes, the Atlas and Centaur stages will be transferred from ground facility power to internal battery power. At T-minus 1 minute 55 seconds, the launch sequencer is commanded to start. Centaur liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen topping is secured at T-minus 1 minute 50 seconds. At T-minus 1 minute 40 seconds, the team will command the flight control system to launch enable. At T-minus 1 minute 37 seconds, the flight termination system is armed. At T-minus 40 seconds, the Centaur tanks will be stable at flight pressures. A final propellant status check is conducted at T-minus 25 seconds. And the booster engine starts at T-minus 3 seconds. Vehicle motion occurs at T plus 1 second. 45 seconds from picking up the count.
On my mark, the time will be T-minus 4 minutes and counting. 3, 2, 1, mark. T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 3 minutes, 54 seconds and counting. The launch team has given the go to proceed, and the countdown clock has resumed.
T-minus 3 minutes. Securing Atlas LO2. Atlas tanks to flight pressure. 250.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 2 minutes, 45 seconds and counting. The launch vehicle, payload, ground systems, the western range, and the weather all go for launch as we progress towards T0 at 2:39 p.m. Pacific Time. Once the vehicle lifts off from the pad, it will take approximately 81 seconds to reach Mach 1, or the speed of sound.
T-minus 159. Vehicle internal 155. Launch sequencer start. 150. Securing Centaur LH2.
Securing Centaur LO2.
T-minus 140. Launch enabled. FTS armed. FTS armed. T-minus 120. FTS count started.
Orca's armed.
.110.
Vent valves locked.
T-minus 1 minute.
Rock, report range status.
Counting.
This is a Rock range screen. Roger.
Stable at step 3.
Status check.
Go Atlas. Go Centaur. 20. 15.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Atlas engine ignition, 1, 0, and liftoff for the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying the NROL-36 payload for the National Reconnaissance Office. NRO systems continue to ensure vigilance from above. And you're hearing the voice of Marty Malinowski providing launch vehicle ascent data.
Mach 1. Max Q. On your ready, you look good. And booster is throttled back on schedule. Current altitude is 12 miles, downrange position 5.8 miles. Current velocity is 1,800 miles per hour. Range track continues to look good, right down the corridor. And Centaur tank pressures have been bent down to condition problems. Closed loop steering has been enabled. The flight rates look good.
LC, this is the Ocean.
Go ahead, Ocean.
Notify LC on channel 1 that we're ready to pad.
Roger. Just the security roadblocks. Dispatch teams to Slick 3 East.
Roger.
This is Atlas Mission Control at L+ 3 minutes, 25 seconds into the flight, and the flight is continuing as expected. Vehicle performance is nominal, and for those of you watching the broadcast, you can see as the vehicle continues to head downrange. Booster engine coming up here in about 10 seconds.
Start ground system securing. Transfer all ECS systems from GN2 to air. Report when transferred to air for each system is complete. Roger.
This is Atlas Mission Control at L+ 4 minutes, 32 seconds and counting. And we've had booster engine cutoff. The RL-10 upper stage engine has ignited. And we've just had payload fairing jettison. So we've just seen the successful liftoff of the NROL-36 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office. Liftoff occurred right on time at the top of the window at 2:39 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I'd like to thank Marty Malinowski for his support of today's broadcast, providing the launch vehicle Ascent data. And now, at the request of our customer, we will conclude our live televised launch broadcast coverage of this mission. For more information about the Atlas V, please visit our website at www.ulalaunch.com. And we'll leave you now with one final look at the liftoff of the NROL-36 mission for the National Reconnaissance Office. I'm Don Spencer on behalf of the entire launch team. Thank you for joining us, and have a great afternoon. Atlas engine ignition, 1, 0, and liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carrying NROL-36 for the National Reconnaissance Office. NRO systems continue to ensure vigilance from above. You're hearing the voice of Marty.